Hello, it's Dr. Castleberry here, Associate Professor, Program Director of Communication, Media, and Ethics, Mid-America Christian University, instructor for this course. I'm going to walk us through our senior capstone class, COM 4803, the media studies, public relations, social media, capstone. We're there. We're at the finish line. Even if we have courses to run after this one concludes, we're at the proverbial finish line, and you all will have a chance in this course to see what that end game is about. It's really a combination of things. The most important element and aspect, final steps toward our professional development. And so every single week, a key assignment, usually our first assignment will have to do, first or second assignment, right? It's very brief. The workload is scaled back, and intentionally so. But each week, one of our assignments, I should have said from the start, will deal with professional development, putting something together that moves us forward toward the next step, right? What do we do after school? How do we translate this? How do we begin to think about ourselves strategically, intentionally? And you'll tackle those assignments in time. The other aspect is really putting a cap, wrapping a bow, however we want to say that, around what we've completed in this major and how you can maybe take one last look, not only look back at your work, but enhance it further. One of the setbacks we sometimes face if we're in that accelerated course cycle is getting through a project simply to get it done and not having the kind of time to revisit it again, to tweak it, to polish it, and so on. So in this course, you can have opportunity to review 3 previous assignments of worth, the meteor projects that we've tackled. And there's a little bit of choice, and some of it is a little bit specific. And we want you to take an opportunity to review and revisit those. And each week's course assignment will guide you through that process. But I'm just communicating that we're being intentional here, that's our goal. Speaking of being intentional and creating ways for you to not only have the highest amount of success in this class, but also not be bogged down with work in times such as these. We have cut our reading load down in this course. So we only have a single book. I have it here with me. Hey, I may have been sent home to work through this course cycle, but it doesn't mean I don't have resources with me. I do have this one. In fact, we dressed alike, right? Look at us. We're matchy, but we're going to lightly use participatory culture in a networked era. And it's a combination book because it's actually presenting us with a plurality of voices, including Henry Jenkins, Mizuko Ito, and Dana Boyd. And so what we're going to get through this book is, instead of kind of one author waxing philosophical ideas to us about media, about culture, about digitized change, and so on, we have this book works like a discourse, like a conversation, and every chapter is going to give you a little taste of that. And hopefully what that does is it does a couple of things for us. It reflects back on the way we utilized or embraced a multi-readings strategy throughout the major. And that was an intentional objective of ours, and hopefully it benefited us in many ways. Allowed us to kind of absorb many different perspectives on various content, and not just a kind of unified direction, because sometimes these authors, they do disagree, or they do have different takes. They may use different terms, and that's great. When we're moving through different professional realms and cycles ourselves, we're going to encounter folks that speak about organizations or problem solving or synergy or content creation in different ways. And we want to be malleable. We want to be able to adjust on the fly. We want to be adaptable because, hey, we're communication people, right? We're gatekeepers. we're those liminal agents. We're able to step back and forth between thresholds and engage at that level. So I wanted to reinstill that sense of confidence for us, that not only is that okay, it's preferable, especially in a what we refer to as, a postmodern digital world that's very kind of globalist in intent. And I was opening up, rereading the kind of introduction here, and I think it's a great starter. And I'm going to try to do a little weekly check-in. We won't be real heavy into this book, but I want to give us some just time to reflect on it. And not the preface, but in the introduction, Jenkins is setting up essentially what is one of his defining terms, in terms of his scholarly legacy. And Jenkins, someone that has been around the block, right? He's been writing about this term he opens the book with, participatory culture. He's been writing about this since, he was probably formulating these ideas in the late 80s. Yes, we're talking about the 1980s. And then that book, Textual Poachers, that really kind of chomped down on it was in the early 90s. And it was kind of reflecting, and he's open about this, fan communities. He was talking about popular culture in certain ways, and fan communities then. Physical interactions, or maybe physical forms of communication between fans, like letters and fanzines and stuff like that. But over the course of his scholarship and over the course of his lifetime as a scholar, and he's a little bit of an aged scholar. That's okay, right? He has the proverbial white beard, right, and large spectacles. That's a good thing, right? He wears it like a badge, as we should. But over the course of his lifetime as a scholar, he admits in this introduction, chapter 1, that his own understanding of it has evolved. Language evolves. Signs evolve.